Imagine a major fashion company claiming nearly all of its eco-friendly line is real, only to have 96% of those claims ruled misleading by regulators. This is the staggering scale of greenwashing, and we're exposing every brand caught in the act. Number 20, the fast fashion conscious collection. You pick up a stylish shirt labeled conscious choice or sustainable, believing you've made a difference. But the truth uncovered by regulators is that nearly 96% of the claims by one fast fashion giant simply did not hold up. This is the H&M scandal. It's a multi-million-dollar corporate campaign built entirely on selling you a lie about your own ethics. The entire premise of H&M's conscious collection was built on hiding the truth, the reality. Investigators, like the Norwegian Consumer Authority, found the vast majority of these statements were vague or factually unsupported. H&M used third-party scoring systems which provided misleading data. This hyper-speed business model, generating hundreds of millions of garments yearly, is inherently unsustainable. Focusing marketing on the 2% that claims to be recycled only fuels the betrayal. The deception here is deeply sophisticated because it targets your best intentions. It turns responsible shopping into a corporate profit engine. Our next exposé targets a massive retailer that uses verified falsehoods to peddle cheap chemically processed goods. Number 19, the retail giant's recycling lie. Walmart sells us products wrapped in symbols of sustainability, including its own clothing lines advertised as made from bamboo. But when the Federal Trade Commission finally investigated, they found not natural fibers, but a chemical-intensive product called rayon. This isn't a startup cutting corners. This is the largest retailer in the world, using its platform to spread verified falsehoods. This deception is about hiding the evidence. The reality was that these textiles were rayon, a material created using highly dangerous chemicals like carbon disulfide. The Federal Trade Commission had to step in, leading to a settlement in the range of $3 million. Consumers were paying extra for something they thought was an organic, earth-friendly choice, only to receive a chemically processed fiber that came at a huge environmental cost. This was a deliberate strategy to cash in on the growing demand for green products. This is how big box stores weaponize the word natural to confuse you and pollute the environment. The ultimate contradiction is next. A hyper-speed fashion brand that pushes disposable clothing under the guise of an ethical life. Number 18, the Join Life illusion. They are the masters of speed, pushing out hundreds of millions of garments a year, yet they claim to belong to a movement called Join Life. Zara's biggest sustainability problem isn't their limited eco-line, it's the fundamental business model that demands disposable clothing. The entire Join Life concept is a stunning example of the hidden trade-off writ large. Zara's parent company may highlight small batches of garments made with sustainable materials, but this green fraction is meant to distract you from the true cost of their operation. Reports estimate the company produces close to 450 million garments every single year. The reality is that the resources and logistics required to dispose of nearly 500 million items annually are fundamentally incompatible with any definition of sustainability. This brand sells you an aesthetic, but the real price is paid by the planet, chapter after chapter. The deception escalates. Our next fast fashion scandal involves a sneaker giant whose recycled campaign is now facing a major class action legal challenge. Number 17, the sneaker scandal, Nike's recycled dream. Your athletic wear company is showing you ads about shoes made from recycled plastic, signaling a new era of eco-friendly performance. But a new class action lawsuit is calling out Nike's Move to Zero campaign as misleading, alleging that some items simply aren't what they claim. The entire Move to Zero campaign is built on hiding the proof. The lawsuit alleges that many products marketed under the sustainable banner contain little to no recycled content. Consumers have no way to verify the exact percentage of sustainable materials, paying a premium for a claim that may be completely false. This is the height of corporate hypocrisy, a brand responsible for massive waste trying to hide its environmental footprint. This ends our look at the fast fashion giants, but we have barely scratched the surface of corporate lies. We'll expose 23 more deceptive brands, from your morning coffee to your car. If you want more investigative content that reveals the truth behind the marketing, hit the subscribe button below now so you never miss another expose. Number 16, the coffee pod's unrecyclable truth. We were promised convenience, flavor, and a green future for our morning coffee, but the reality is a mountain of waste that stretches around the globe. Keurig and Nespresso built an empire on pods that, despite the claims, are often impossible to recycle locally. This deception relies on worshipping false labels. The multi-material construction means that standard recycling facilities cannot process them. Keurig Canada was even forced to pay a penalty of $3 million for misleading claims. Their business model created a massive systemic waste problem that was then intentionally hidden behind a deceptive claim. You are paying for a luxury convenience while simultaneously burdening the planet. This entire industry thrives on selling you a fast, fresh product while burying the true cost in landfills. The offense accelerates. We expose the most flagrant offender in the world, a company responsible for oceans of non-biodegradable plastic. Number 15, the beverage giant's plastic empire. This company has been named the world's #1 plastic polluter for 6 years running, yet its marketing is filled with campaigns called World Without Waste. The betrayal of Coca-Cola is not just in their packaging, it's in their refusal to shift away from single-use plastic bottles. How can a company promise a world without waste while actively destroying it? While they promote minor recycling initiatives, they produce an estimated 3.5 million metric tons of plastic packaging annually. Break Free from Plastic has consistently identified Coca-Cola as the top polluter. This amounts to a full-scale corporate rejection of environmental responsibility disguised by feel-good commercials. This level of deliberate, systemic pollution makes a mockery of all efforts toward a circular economy. The deception gets personal. Next, we expose a household brand that uses the beautiful imagery of the ocean to sell a product that has nothing to do with marine protection. Number 14, the compostable trash bag sham. You bought the expensive garbage bags wrapped in green and labeled with buzzwords, thinking you were helping the planet. But the glad-to-be green bags were recently targeted by regulators for creating a false impression of what ocean plastic truly means. The greenwashing here relies on worshipping false labels and misleading imagery. Glad marketed its bags with imagery implying the plastic was sourced directly from the ocean. However, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission exposed the reality. The plastic was categorized as ocean-bound, meaning it was collected from land before it reached the sea. Consumers were willing to pay extra, believing their purchase was actively saving whales. This is how companies profit from your desire to protect the seas without actually doing the difficult work. Now, we pivot to food. The next exposure targets a company that had its entire low-carbon footprint claim ruled misleading by regulatory authorities. Number 13, the impossible carbon footprint burger. The food company claimed its product had a remarkably low carbon footprint, selling it as the eco-conscious alternative to meat. But the United Kingdom's Advertising Standards Authority stepped in, ruling that Quorn's carbon claims were misleading and unverifiable. Quorn's deception relies on hiding the full environmental ledger. They placed labels asserting their items had carbon footprints substantially lower than beef. However, the authority determined that the company could not adequately support these broad comparative claims. By highlighting only the reduced land use compared to livestock, they created a hidden trade-off. A low-carbon claim must be verifiable, transparent, and holistic. When a brand refuses to disclose its full environmental ledger, it's a clear signal that the figures don't add up. The lie moves to the ultimate polluters. Next, we move from food to fuel, exposing the shocking lie behind Big Oil's net zero campaigns. Number 12, the Big Oil rebrand, Shell's green facade. You scroll past an ad showing a futuristic energy company, but Shell is simultaneously being sued for promoting a green image, while 96% of its investment still goes into fossil fuels. Shell is the poster child for the sin of the hidden trade-off. Internal data proves that 96% of their capital expenditure remains locked into oil and gas production. They focus public messaging on the 4% dedicated to renewables, creating a massive smokescreen for their core, climate-destroying business. This is an existential fraud. They are delaying meaningful climate action while profiting from the perception of being a leader. This level of deliberate corporate obfuscation should be alarming to everyone. We want to know what you think. Which corporate scandal shocked you the most, and what one change do you want to see from Congress? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll reveal the next brand using flying lies to cover up its carbon footprint. Number 11, flying lies, the carbon neutral flight. You click a box to offset the emissions of your flight, believing your journey is now carbon neutral. But major airlines like Ryanair and Delta have been flagged for making false claims about their emissions. The concept of carbon-neutral travel is arguably one of the biggest frauds, relying on worshipping false labels. Offsetting schemes typically fund projects that take decades to mature, while jet fuel pollution is instantaneous and massive. Scientific analysis has repeatedly shown that the majority of these offset programs are ineffective. Paying for a vague promise of future tree growth does not negate that reality. It is a financial shield for high-carbon operations. This is a systemic betrayal of climate commitments, where convenience trumps scientific reality. The fraud goes to ground. Next, we expose the scandal that rocked the automotive world, proving that greenwashing can be a multi-billion-dollar criminal operation. Number 10, the clean diesel legacy of deception. It was the scandal that broke trust in the entire automotive industry. The Volkswagen Dieselgate saga proves that greenwashing can be a deliberate, multi-billion-dollar fraud. If you, or anyone you knew, bought a clean diesel vehicle, you were unknowingly purchasing an illegal polluter. The Volkswagen scandal, which erupted in 2015, stands as the most staggering example of criminal fraud. The company deployed an illegal defeat device. This software allowed cars to perform cleanly during testing. Under normal driving conditions, the cars emitted up to 40 times the legal limit of harmful nitrogen oxides. This colossal betrayal of public health was a premeditated effort to sell polluting vehicles under a false green banner. This level of corporate deceit reminds us that, when a product sounds too green to be true, the company might just be lying. The deception moves to your deposit box. Next, we expose major banks that finance billions in fossil fuels while using polished advertisements to claim they are environmentally responsible. Number 9, the bank's fossil fuel footprint. Your bank publishes a sleek annual report promising commitment to environmental, social, and governance factors. But an investigation into giants like HSBC revealed that they are simultaneously financing billions of dollars in new fossil fuel projects. This is where the greenwashing is performed, not with paint, but with capital. Banks like HSBC release high-gloss public statements promoting ethical investment funds. Yet, simultaneously, they are ranking among the top global funders of new coal, oil, and gas expansion. Investigative reports reveal that in the years following their climate pledges, these institutions channeled billions of dollars into companies actively building new pipelines and drilling sites. This fundamental contradiction proves that their sustainability reports are nothing more than camouflage, a marketing layer designed to protect their reputation while they continue to profit from climate instability. When the money flows in two opposite directions, the promise of responsibility is a lie. The lie moves to the disposable. Next, we expose a household paper brand that sells comfort, but sources its materials by destroying critical ancient forests. Number 8. The bathroom tissues deforestation problem. You buy a product with a comforting bear on the label, assuming the brand cares about forests. But a major paper product producer, Procter & Gamble, Charmin, is being sued for sourcing wood pulp from Canada's boreal forest, a critical carbon sink. This disposable luxury item is being funded by the destruction of one of the world's most vital ecosystems. A class action lawsuit was filed, alleging that P&G uses wood pulp harvested from the ancient carbon-rich boreal forest. Critics argue that cutting down old-growth trees for a single-use consumer product completely undermines any notion of responsible forestry. Consumers are led to believe they are buying a harmless product, when in reality they are contributing to the logging of irreplaceable forests. The label promises you a perfect experience, but the true environmental cost is one that cannot be easily replanted. The betrayal hits the beach. Next, we expose a dangerous lie in the personal care aisle, the myth of the reef-friendly sunscreen. Number 7. The reef-friendly sunscreen lie. You stood in the aisle, carefully choosing the bottle labeled reef-friendly, wanting to protect the oceans. But lab tests revealed that many sunscreens, including brands like Banana Boat, contain chemicals that cause coral bleaching. This is a painful betrayal of consumer trust, relying on worshipping false labels. Brands know that consumers want to protect coral reefs, so they slap a reef-friendly banner on bottles. Yet, studies have repeatedly found that these products often contain chemical filters that are known marine pollutants. Chemicals like avobenzone and octocrylene are released into the water, contributing to coral bleaching. The term reef-friendly is entirely unregulated, allowing companies to exclude one notorious chemical while quietly including others. The lie is on the shelf, and the evidence is in the lab. If you know someone who buys products labeled reef-friendly or responsible, please share this video with them immediately. It's time to protect your wallet and the planet. Share this video with every conscious consumer you know. Next, we look at the financial institutions that use your investment money for projects that contradict your values. Number 6. The investment fund's missing values. You invested in a fund marketed as sustainable or ethically conscious, believing your money was doing good. But the Securities and Exchange Commission charged companies like Vanguard with misleading investors. The greenwashing of finance operates on a massive scale. Investment giants created environmental, social, and governance (ESG) funds. However, the Securities and Exchange Commission initiated action against firms like Vanguard for allegedly failing to apply the very ESG screens they promised. Funds labeled sustainable often contained holdings in exactly the fossil fuel companies they were supposed to exclude. Your money was sold an ethical facade while being deployed in the same destructive corners of the market. When your savings are working against your principles, it's time to demand forensic transparency. Our final offender in apparel is next. We expose a premium outerwear brand that sells ethical warmth but faces serious questions about the truth of its animal welfare practices. Number 5. The conscious outerwear deception. They charge a premium for high-end jackets and parkas, marketing ethical sourcing. But brands like Canada Goose have faced heavy scrutiny and lawsuits over the actual ethics of their fur and down sourcing. This deception relies on a sophisticated blend of hiding the proof and emphasizing irrelevant details. Canada Goose sells an image of rugged, ethical luxury. However, the company has been the subject of multiple lawsuits from animal welfare groups who argue that the reality of their supply chain contradicts their ethical marketing. The core allegation is that the methods used for sourcing fur and down, despite their certification labels, violate animal well-being. You buy a premium brand for a clear conscience, only to find the label hides a troubling ethical compromise. The reckoning is here. Now, before we reveal the 10 brands genuinely doing good, we must recap the 4 worst offenders in this greenwashing exposé. The final 4 worst offenders recap. Before we move to the brands genuinely doing it right, we must look at the most blatant lies that shook consumer trust to its core. We are recapping the 4 ultimate betrayals that defined greenwashing in the last decade. Number 4, Volkswagen's Dieselgate. It was the scandal that broke trust in the automotive industry. The Volkswagen Dieselgate saga proves that greenwashing can be a deliberate, multi-billion-dollar fraud. The company deployed an illegal defeat device. This software allowed cars to perform cleanly during testing. Under normal driving conditions, the cars emitted up to 40 times the legal limit of harmful nitrogen oxides. This colossal betrayal of public health was a premeditated effort to sell polluting vehicles under a false green banner. The financial fallout was in the tens of billions of dollars. Number 3, Shell's corporate hypocrisy. You scroll past an ad showing a futuristic energy company, but Shell is simultaneously being sued for promoting a green image while 96% of its spending remains locked in fossil fuels. Shell is the poster child for the sin of the hidden trade-off. Internal data proves that 96% of their capital expenditure remains locked into oil and gas production. They focus public messaging on the 4% dedicated to renewables, creating a massive smokescreen for their core, climate-destroying business. This is an existential fraud. Number 2, H&M's false claims. We find H&M and its so-called conscious collection exposed for having close to 96% of its green claims ruled misleading by regulators. The entire premise of H&M's conscious collection was built on hiding the truth. Investigators found the vast majority of these statements were vague or factually unsupported. H&M used third-party scoring systems which provided misleading data. This manipulation of consumer ethics for profit cemented H&M as a defining example of the sin of no proof. Number 1, Coca-Cola's plastic empire. Finally, at number 1, the worst offender, the company that weaponized plastic packaging, Coca-Cola. For 6 consecutive years, they have been definitively named the world's number 1 plastic polluter. The contradiction between Coca-Cola's public image and its actions is corporate duplicity. They produce an estimated 3.5 million metric tons of plastic packaging annually. Break Free from Plastic has consistently identified Coca-Cola as the top polluter. They ask you to believe in their world without waste, while simultaneously flooding that world with billions of non-biodegradable items. This toxic reality can feel overwhelming, but the story does not end here. Hope exists, and some companies are truly revolutionizing their industries. We are now turning our focus to the 10 brands that are actually backing up their ethical claims with verifiable action and transparency. Number 10, Pact. After wading through the corporate lies, it is a profound relief to know that some companies actually put their money where their values are. We begin our list with Pact. Pact commits solely to Global Organic Textile Standard, GOTS, certified cotton. This certification is the global gold standard, demanding third-party auditing that verifies the organic status of the fiber and the entire processing chain. This means the cotton is grown without toxic pesticides, dramatically reducing water pollution. Pact's business model proves that organic basics can be scaled without misleading marketing. The power of a single certified material cannot be overstated in the fight against textile greenwashing. Next, we look at another fashion leader who takes this foundational commitment and extends it to the life of the entire garment. Number 9, Eileen Fisher. The greatest offense of the fast fashion industry is the sheer volume of waste. Our 9th entry, Eileen Fisher, built its legacy on true circularity through one of the most comprehensive take-back programs. Her Renew program takes back any garment for store credit. This is radical product ownership that directly counters the disposable mentality. The returned clothes are meticulously sorted, and damaged items are deconstructed and remanufactured into new materials. This reverse logistics system proves that her sustainability claim is an operational imperative. This commitment to responsible end-of-life management is the only verifiable way to counter the global textile crisis. Our next brand sets the global standard for transparency, revealing every hidden trade-off in the supply chain. Number 8. Reformation. The second greatest weapon is the sin of the hidden trade-off. Our 8th truly sustainable leader, Reformation, tackles this deceit head-on by providing radical transparency through its self-developed RefScale system. Reformation operates in the open, offering shoppers verifiable facts. Their RefScale calculates and reports the environmental cost of every single garment on their website. The tag informs you exactly how many pounds of carbon dioxide and gallons of water were saved compared to a conventional version. This data-driven honesty is the antithesis of vague buzzwords. RefScale turns ethical consumption into a science, proving that fashion and verifiable environmental responsibility can coexist. Now, we turn our attention from apparel to the industrial sector, where one giant is proving that net zero is an actionable commitment. Number 7. Schneider Electric. When big oil engages in greenwashing, they use the sin of irrelevance. Our 7th entry, Schneider Electric, offers a direct counterexample. Schneider Electric's entire business is focused on reducing global energy waste. They have committed to becoming carbon neutral by 2025, a publicly verifiable goal. This involves transitioning their fleet and procuring 100% renewable electricity across all operations. Their commitment extends to helping thousands of other global companies achieve their net zero goals. This commitment to systemic solutions demonstrates true leadership in the energy transition. Next, we unveil the undisputed champion of ownership, a company that actively encourages its customers to stop buying new products. Number 6. Patagonia. Our 6th leader, Patagonia, stands alone as the undisputed champion of durability and anti-consumption marketing. Patagonia's marketing directly attacks the sin of irrelevance. Their "Don't Buy This Jacket" campaign was an operational commitment. The true measure of their commitment is their colossal internal investment in repair. They also run the Worn Wear program, facilitating the resale of used items. By actively promoting repair, reuse, and resale, they are dismantling the core tenets of the consumer industry. Patagonia's focus on durability is the definitive proof that true sustainability must be built on the principle of anti-consumption. Now, we pivot back to home goods and personal care, where one company puts radical ingredient transparency first. Number 5. 7th generation. In the realm of household goods and personal care, the sin of vagueness runs rampant. Our 5th entry, 7th generation, stands as a beacon of transparency. They pioneered radical ingredient transparency, publishing its formulations to the public. Their commitment ensures that every household item meets rigorous standards, avoiding known carcinogens and heavy environmental pollutants. This is supported by verifiable third-party certifications. Furthermore, their packaging strategy utilizes high levels of post-consumer recycled plastic. This commitment to non-toxic formulation and full transparency sets the gold standard for personal care and cleaning products. Next, we look at a high-end fashion brand that made an unexpected and profound energy commitment. Number 4. Moncler. The luxury fashion industry is notorious for high consumption. Our 4th leader, Moncler, presents a powerful paradox. Even a luxury brand can achieve verifiable sustainability in its energy use. Moncler made an astonishing commitment to source 100% of its electricity from renewable sources. This is a tangible, verifiable action that directly counters the energy consumption issues inherent in the fashion industry. This dedication involves signing power purchase agreements and making the necessary infrastructure changes. Moncler's energy transition proves that verifiable action must be taken at the highest levels of industrial operation. Next, we look at the most revolutionary business model on our list, a company that plants millions of trees based on your daily searches. Number 3, Ecosia. The majority of technology companies focus on user data. Our third entry, Ecosia, offers a transformative, regenerative business model that uses the power of digital commerce to directly fund ecological restoration. Ecosia is a search engine that is carbon negative. Its operational model is simple and effective. It uses its ad revenue from searches to fund massive tree planting initiatives. They pledge to donate at least 80% of their profits to reforestation projects. Ecosia has funded the planting of over 200 million trees, a verifiable, quantifiable, positive impact. Ecosia's regenerative model sets a new gold standard for the entire technology sector. Next, we unveil a company that turned pollution into profit, manufacturing industrial goods from ocean waste. Number 2, Interface. The industrial manufacturing sector is the source of many enduring environmental problems. Our second entry, Interface, revolutionized its entire business to achieve Mission Zero, turning pollution into a core resource. Interface recognized that its heavy reliance on petrochemicals was unsustainable. Their innovations included using recycled fishing nets as a primary raw material for new carpet fibers. This turns a polluting waste product into a valuable resource. This dedication to circular material sourcing is backed by measurable metrics. They reduced the carbon footprint of their carpet tiles by 82%. Interface's dedication to material science and waste reduction is the gold standard for industrial manufacturing. Finally, we look at a global giant whose single verifiable sourcing commitment makes it a true sustainability leader. Number 1, IKEA. Our number 1 entry on the truly sustainable list is a name you might find surprising: IKEA. IKEA's commitment to wood has achieved a level of verifiable scale and transparency that few others can match. The company made a radical commitment to source 99.5% of all the wood used in its products from certified sustainable sources, primarily the Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, certified forests. FSC certification is a stringent third-party audit that ensures the wood is harvested responsibly. You now have the full ledger, 40 brands exposed for their deceit, and 10 verified leaders for their action. Armed with this transparency, you can use your purchasing power to reward honesty and finally punish the lie of greenwashing. You now have the transparency needed to reclaim your power. If you found the truth in this expose valuable, hit the like button and subscribe now to ensure you always stay ahead of the corporate deception.